Drawdown is going to happen based on these agreements. But the drawdown can happen even more if the hateful rhetoric and the impediment and interference will stop. The agreements to have alone is going to cause a significant drawdown.
End in sight, the White House border czar signals a possible drawdown in Operation Metro Surge. But the mayor says he'll believe it when he sees it.
And so we've been very clear. The Operation Metro Surge needs to end.
What's happened here in Minnesota could shut down the federal government. There's a bitter back and forth on Capitol Hill over ICE funding. That deadline now just a day away. Plus, 2 critical court rulings on the immigration crackdown to tell you about.
In one, a judge said that ICE has probably violated more court orders this month than some federal agencies ever have. First, to the new man at the helm of Operation Metro Surge, border czar Tom Homan says things are about to change. Today, he spoke for the first time since arriving in Minnesota.
And our Frankie McLister was there.
The President of the United States called me Monday morning and asked me to deploy here.
President Trump's right hand when it comes to border security, immigration policy, and more.
I'm staying till the problem's gone. But we've made a lot of progress in the last 3 days.
Tom Homan saying he didn't come here for photo ops, replaces U.S. Border Patrol Commander-at-Large Greg Bavino. Bavino was the on-the-ground face of Operation Metro Surge until early this week. On Thursday morning, the border czar said he came with the following in mind.
To regain law and order in the city beloved by many, and work together to remove threats from the community.
Strategy changes were top of mind, but added the changes won't mean they're surrendering the president's immigration enforcement, and that he's working to draw down the number of people they, the feds, have here.
We will conduct targeted enforcement operations. Targeted. What we've done for decades. When we hit the streets, we know exactly who we're looking for.
Also making it clear his meetings with state and local officials like Governor Walz, Minneapolis Mayor Frey, and more went well.
We didn't agree on everything. I didn't expect to agree on anything. You can't fix problems if you don't have discussions.
Homan wrapping up, saying he doesn't want anyone else dead, neither agents or community members.
President Trump wants this fixed, and I'm going to fix it. With your help.
Frankie McLister, WCCO News.
Homan added among strategy changes, they'll be better at coordinating with jails to pick up people as they're released. He didn't clarify how many agents remain here in Minnesota.
The dramatic change at the top comes less than a week after federal agents shot and killed VA nurse Alex Preddy. Today, we're seeing a new view of his encounter with agents 11 days earlier. The Preddy family confirms this was Alex in the video, where you can see him shouting at federal agents. One of the officers takes a couple of steps towards Preddy before going into an unmarked SUV. Preddy then spits on the SUV before kicking out its taillight. That is when agents take him down and detain him. The incident happened just blocks away from the shooting site of Renee Good, where a memorial continues to grow. We asked grieving Minnesotans if the new video changes their perspective.
It's irrelevant that he had another encounter. Of course he had an encounter because he was someone who cared and was willing to take the risk of coming out and being on the streets while all this violence was happening.
Through an attorney, the Preddy family said, quote, nothing that happened a full week before could possibly have justified Alex's killing at the hands of ICE on January 24th. Now to a strong statement from a federal chief judge about ICE actions in the state. The judge had called for the acting director of ICE to appear in court tomorrow to answer why the feds ignored court orders.
And while that hearing is canceled, the warning remains. So senior investigative reporter Jennifer Mayerly is here. And so what is behind this case, Jen?
Well, this all started with one man whose attorneys said he was picked up by ICE and then was held without due process. He was released Tuesday, thereby canceling the hearing. Now, Chief Judge Patrick Schultz called out the agency and its noncompliance with the courts. His latest order yesterday saying ICE has likely violated more court orders this month than some federal agencies have in their entire existence. Going on to say ICE is not a law unto itself. We spoke with Juan, the man at the center of the case the judge ruled on. He was in custody for 3 weeks. He shared what he called harsh conditions. At Whipple, he said they were told to drink water from the toilet, given little food, and sleeping on the floor in a room with dozens of others. Juan said he was moved to 3 different facilities in Texas. He came to the U.S. from Ecuador 27 years ago and says this experience has been traumatic.
Right now, my mental is not really good because there's a lot of discrimination. There's a lot of discrimination for my person because my person now is criminal. My person is only take care of my family and work.
All right, we talked with Juan while driving back from Texas today. He was in Oklahoma at the time. He says he's scared to come back and fears he'll be targeted again. But he also shared his daughters have been sad but are glad he's coming home. His son is ready to give him a hug when he gets here.
Yeah. So many families still here waiting to maybe reunite with their loved ones. So what is next for Juan?
Well, there's a few things. He says when he gets home, he first wants to see a doctor. He says he lost 7 or 8 pounds and he's a diabetic. He says he received some medication but didn't know what it is, and he knows he didn't receive his full meds. We did reach out to DHS for comment about the alleged conditions, and we have not heard back. Now, legally, his immigration case will continue. His attorneys will file for relief to allow him to stay in the country, so more to come. And I should mention the judge cited 74 cases similar to Juan's where they say there is no compliance from ICE.
All right, we appreciate it. Thank you, Jen.
Well, another critical court ruling. A federal judge has temporarily blocked the detention and deportation of all immigrants with refugee status. The ruling comes in the wake of the arrest of 5-year-old Liam Ramos and his father, Adrian Alexander Conejo Arias, outside their Columbia Heights home. Their attorney says they were actively seeking asylum. They were both taken to a detention facility in Texas.
You have a federal judge in Minnesota who is saying that 5,600 refugee-type individuals are being affected by what DHS and the federal government's doing. Specifically, the federal government is reviewing their refugee status, and many of them, while this review is going on, are incarcerated. And the judge says, no more of that. You have to release them. They have to go through a process.
There will be another hearing in 2 weeks where the judge could extend or overturn the temporary ruling. It's also possible the Trump administration could appeal to a higher court.